Okay, so in this one, I want to start working on sorting. And in order to sort, I want to have a little icon that indicates that I should be sorting by something. So I want to use the Material UI icon. So I'm going to install this. We're going to open a new PowerShell here, and we're going to install it right here. Server's still running here. So we're installing the MUI icons. It's pretty big because it's installing every icon that exists. But while it's doing that, I'm going to show you. I'm going to be using this unfold more icon. I just think it looks like it represents bidirectional sorting, which is what we want. So we're going to go ahead and grab this out while we're waiting. I'm also going to go to sort JavaScript here just so we can look at how sort works so we can start to figure out how to do that. This is the important part here. Okay, so we've got our icon. I'm going to import that unfold more icon, which I copied from here. And then we're just going to add that to, we're going to sort by CMC first. So I'm going to add that unfold more icon here. And if I look, I think it's also, ooh, it's aligned way weird. Let's make this width equals 200. It's too much. Let's do width equals 75. There we go. Now they're still, we're fine here. Can we go 50? No. What's 60? Okay. But the problem is it's not lined up. It's the same thing that was happening here. So now I can add the styling. And the last time I accidentally used SX, which is MUI specific styling, instead of style. Vertical align middle. Oh, wrong thing. I'm not supposed to be using that on the table, so I want to use that on the icon. There we go. So now it's lined up correctly. And so how do we sort this? Well, I want to call a function for sorting on click. So let's create a function. Let's give ourselves a little extra space here so it's not as crammed. Let's create a function right here, and we'll put this one inside because it needs to be local. Sort. Okay, and then what's going to be passed in here is actually which category or which column we're going to sort by. So it's going to be a string that's going to represent the column. In this case, it'll be CMC. So I'm going to say onClick equals, and then we need to pass in an anonymous function here. We're going to call sort, and we're going to pass in CMC. Now, rather than allowing it to be any string, I only want it to be the ones that I'm actually going to sort by. So what I can do is create a union here. I'm actually going to force it to be CMC, and then later I'll add more. But if I try to use another string like name, it's actually not going to work because it has to be CMC. So this is not only a default value, it's a forced value. But eventually we'll sort of add more possible ones. You'll see why that makes sense. Right now it doesn't make sense, but it will. All right, and then I'm just going to console log clicked, and I just want to make sure that I can actually click on this thing. So F12, go to console, let's clear this stuff out, and I click on the CMC, and look at that, it says clicked. There we go. So it is calling this function. Good. So how do we sort this? Well, I want to create a new variable that's going to be my sorted cards. Whenever I sort my cards, I want to use this variable for it. I don't want it to be a normal variable. I want it to be a useState hook variable. So we're going to import useState, and then we're going to create this hook variable, which looks kind of funny. It's const, and then it's going to be sorted cards, set sorted cards in those brackets, equals useState. And then what we do is we put the default or the type in here, and it's going to be mtg card, like that. And then we're going to put the default value in here. And our default value is just going to be the cards that are passed in. Props cards. And now instead of using our props cards down here where we map sorry, right here, we're going to use that new sorted cards. And right now it's not going to change anything because it's, it's set to this by default. So it's the same exact thing. But we can sort the cards now and set them. So how do we sort? Well, let's take a look at how this works. Basically, we have a comparison function. We're comparing two different values, A and B. And these represent any two pairings of values. Every value is going to be paired against another one. If you've done your algorithms, you know that the sorting, I believe the best time complexity is like n log n or something like that. So it compares what it needs to compare. Now, when it's doing that comparison, the result should either be a negative number, a positive number, or 0 itself. So if it's a positive number, that means that whatever the A value is should come after B. If it's a negative number, it should be A before B. And then if it's equal, keep the original order of A and B. So how does that look here? Well, we're going to take our sorted cards, dot sort, and now we pass in A and B, which represents two different cards, and we can even type them if we want. MTG card, MTG card. So this is going to be sorting by the CMC, which is the mana cost, the converted mana cost. So this number here. So remember, if the result is a negative number, then A is going to come before B. And that's what we want. So we want it to be the lower numbers first. So to do that, we're just going to say A. We can't just do A minus B. That's a normal way to sort, but the problem is this is a card. It's not, so we need to grab that value out. A.cmc, B.cmc. Now, I actually want to do this dynamically, so I'm going to say if, well, probably is okay. I'll do it dynamically later. This is the only number one, so it's fine to just do this. No, we have to check. Okay, so we'll say if call equals CMC, and then we'll actually change this. This isn't super important, but we can do A call minus B call, just like that. Okay, so now when I click on this, nothing's going to happen because this sorted cards didn't actually change at all. Well, it does mutate the original array, but it also returns a reference to the same array. So, but what I need to do in order to change this is I use this set sorted cards. And the reason I do that is because when you call the setter function, it triggers a re-render. So I will wrap this with set sorted cards. And that's just going to set this value to be equal to that. However, it's kind of weird. We have to use this odd spread operator here. So I'm going to wrap this in brackets and then ... And this is the proper way to do this. The spread operator essentially takes all the values and spreads them out so they're no longer wrapped in brackets. So we're adding brackets around the outside and then we're removing the brackets from this one. Why is this necessary? I don't know. It's a little bit confusing. Okay, so it's sorted. Let me try refreshing. Okay, and then I click it, and now it's sorting in ascending order. So it's starting with zeros and then ones and then up to 8. So that's how we can actually create this ascending order. So the next one we'll do descending.